Hello! Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, we're out of focus. We're out of focus. The music's very loud. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. It's just gone midday. You are listening to InterTrash CHAT. Yes, a new thing. A new thing happening right here on the internet 4 days a week. I'm going to tell you about it because today is something slightly different, right? Okay, I'm not going to indulge you with a full episode, I'm afraid, but there is a reason for that, okay? And the reason is very, very simple. I wanted to share with you my plans for InterTrash CHAT, and they're very simple plans, but they are going to start happening as of next week, right? So on Monday next week, InterTrash CHAT, that is this, will officially launch. Hey Ash, all is good. Lovely to have you watching. Now, let me explain to you what this is going to be. So, for 4 days a week, I am going to get on here guests live to talk to, right? And it will look a little bit like this. Okay, so this is how it's going to look. This is how it's going to appear. And on the left-hand side will be my guest. Okay, and you will be able to call in on that number 07380325882, and you'll be able to talk to them about whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You can talk to them about anything at all, but they will have specialities in subjects, right? So I need to line up the guests. This is the thing. I need to get them all queued up, ready for next week, and it's going to be 4 days a week starting Monday. The only day I won't be doing is Thursday because that is InterTrash Live, which is something very different. That's a game show which happens at 8:30 in the evening. I haven't actually asked you how you are. I've just bombarded you with all of this information. So I sincerely hope you're well. I hope lockdown's treating you okay. Like I said, this isn't going to be a full episode. I'm literally just going to rabbit on for about 20 minutes about this thing that I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and when you can watch it. Okay, so InterTrash CHAT. People are coming in and out. I can see people are watching in different places. InterTrash CHAT starting Monday, midday, 4 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Because all of last week, I started doing what I called InterTrash CHAT, and it was just me badgering on, like I'm doing now. I was just chuntering away, a little bit like I am now, and it kind of just, it didn't really work. So the idea of this is to get in guests. We're going to get guests in. It will look like this. I'll tell you what I need to do, actually. Let me do this, right? So I've got this lovely, I really like the theme tune for InterTrash CHAT, which is this. Because it says me, and it's going to be about these people, right? But I need to copy the music over to this, right? Which I'm going to do now. There it is. Right. So that's essentially it. So what you'll have is on that black box there, we're going to have guests on every single day that I'm on air, which is 4 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. I've got to remember it myself. And you'll be able to ask them questions about their speciality or whatever we're talking about if you want to raise it. And you can either list it there in the chat or you can call in 07380325882. The aim of the show is to keep it quite punchy and short, right? So we want to have like an hour hit, 12 till 1. This person that we get on, whoever it may be, we're just going to get them on, get as much information out of them as quickly as we can in that hour. Some of the good ones might go on a little bit longer. You never know. Like if we're really finding ourselves going down a little junction that we want to keep going down, then we will keep that way. Now, for those of you that join me on a regular basis, and I know you're there, please share this. It'd be great if you could just tell as many people about it as possible. That it will be kicking off on Monday at midday. I won't, that means, be doing anything tomorrow or Friday. Okay, so I won't be doing anything tomorrow or Friday. The quiz is still on. InterTrash Live will still be on Thursday at 8:30. But InterTrash CHAT won't be starting until Monday officially. But this is how it will look. The other thing that I'd like from you is if there are guests that you'd love to see, you'd love to get on here, I'd love that. Just any names. They can be from any walk of life. Okay, they don't have to be famous. They don't have to be well known. They can be from any walk of life. Anything. We just want to delve deep into these people's backgrounds and what they're about, and ask them questions. And we want to go onto territory that's a little bit unfamiliar, maybe a little bit uncomfortable, possibly things that we don't know about that we want to learn about. Oh, hang on, DHL's just arrived. Hang on a sec. I haven't actually ordered anything. Yeah, they're next door, but I'm taking them for them, I think. They're herbs, aren't they? Yeah, I'm just going to take them. Yeah, that's right. So they don't die. Thanks. Cheers. My name's Ollie Peart. Yeah, Peart. P-E-A-R-T. But they know I'm from. Great. I'm back. My neighbours have had some herbs delivered, and I promised that I would pick them up. That's the kind of life that I live. Anyway, yes. So that's what I would like from you. I want you to tell me what guests you want on this show. So we just want one guest. We're going to get them in a video chat, so you'll be able to see them in that. This is difficult. Is it the other? That box. Right, you'll be able to see them in that box, and we can have a conversation about whatever you want. You can ask the questions using the comment thing in the middle, and you'll be able to watch on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and on Twitch, right? So you can watch on all of these platforms, whatever's most convenient for you, wherever you are. If you're at work, if you're at home, working from home, it doesn't matter, okay? You can be watching anywhere on any one of those platforms, whatever's convenient. So it'll be kicking off on Monday, InterTrash CHAT. Monday at midday. We're going to have our first guest, right? Our first guest, we're going to get them on. You can ask them questions. You can ask them anything you want that's to do with their subject. Kev, what are you wearing on the bottom half? Look, okay, we live in a world where we can work from home now. We live in a world of video conferencing and video chat. I'm not wearing anything. And I think if you are wearing stuff in your bottom half whilst you're having a video chat, there's something wrong with you. Let it loose. Let it loose. So, actually, while we're on this, Kevin called in the other day on the number 07380325882, right? And we had a chat with him about his book. So that's what I mean, right? These two people, we don't necessarily have to have people that are really well known. We just want guests that are just interesting. It could be anybody. It could be a mate of yours that you think is particularly interesting and you want me to chat to. Let's get them on. So recommendations, please. Get them in the comments. Put them in the comment on Facebook, on Twitch, or whatever. Just write it down. You can send them to me, actually, if you want. Head over to my website, olliepeart.com, and you can fill in the contact form there. You can just send them in. I don't mind. But I'm already thinking off the top of my head that I want to hit up my my podcast chums. I'd love to get Alex Fox on. I haven't asked her yet. I have not asked Alex Fox, just for the record. I have not asked Alex Fox if she wants to come on. But I'd love to get her on, have some conversations about sex and other bits and bobs. That would always be interesting. I've never sort of really sat down with Alex and had that sort of in-depth conversation in that way. And it'd be great for you to get some questions to her live as well. So I'd like to do that. I'd like to get her on. I'd like to get somebody that does a job that I'm really confused by. Like, I'd love to get somebody on who... What job confuses me? Like somebody who works in the sciences of some sort, like, I don't know, physics or something. Or I'd like to get somebody on that works in a nuclear power plant, because I don't mind having a socially distanced conversation with them, because, well, they're nowhere near me. Stephen Shepherd, 4. I know someone who tiles pool. Tiles pool? A pool tiler. A pool tiler? Do I want to speak to somebody that tiles pools? No, come on. You can do better than that. I just graduated with a physics degree last year. Minihood 1997. That's amazing. First of all, congratulations. I bet you're pleased that you managed to do that before lockdown kicked off. You know, you did it a year before all of this kicked off, because I don't know what graduates are doing this year, but I understand that they weren't able to actually have a proper graduation ceremony. So they were just sent an email saying, yeah, well done, you graduated. Bit of an anticlimax, isn't it, when you spent £3.5 million trying to get yourself a degree? Anyway, so that's the idea. Kev says swimming pools. Okay, look, if you know a swimming pool tiler and you think if we get him on it's going to be something that's going to be brilliant and entertaining, then great. Let's get on a swimming pool, Tyler. I'm open to anything. But what I'm looking for from you lot, I'll tell you another person I'd like to get on, right? I know a guy called Alan Sim, right? He's an amazing guy. He's a lovely bloke. And he lives in Scandinavia and he directs TV shows like those Scandinavian dark drama things. What? What a weirdo. What? I mean, first of all, how do you even get into that profession? I don't know. But I'd quite like to learn something about it. Be nice. Steve, the 4 was at Alex, not you, by the way. Oh, come on. And also, come on. Can you 4 now? Can we 4? See, look, Stephen, these are the questions that I can ask. So if we do get Alex on, I can say, look, Alex, is 4 acceptable? Can I say 4? And I strongly expect the answer to be no. Not to my face when it's unwarranted and not called for. No. But I don't know. I could be wrong. Kev Murphy. It's Ash the fortune teller. Amanda won a rock competition, not the music. I don't know what you're talking about. I really like the idea of... Oh, Ash the fortune teller tiles pools. Hang on, I think I do know who this person is. I tell you what would be even more interesting is speaking to an actual fortune teller. Do you know a fortune teller? Like an actual one? I'd like to speak to them. You can get them in. I hope you've got a coffee. So, now look. If you've tuned in for another one of me sort of ranting on for an hour, I apologise, that's not going to happen today. This is literally a live rolling infomercial for how InterTrash CHAT is going to change. And I apologise to regular viewers because I know that's annoying for you. But I just want to promise you that from Monday, it's going to be brilliant. Like I thought when I started doing this, I just sat down and just turned the camera on. There was no kind of real direction, nothing kind of happening there. So I thought, well, I need to have some direction. There needs to be some kind of relevance to this. And the thing is what I don't want it to be is just a chat with me and the other person. That's not what it's about. It's a chat on your behalf with all of you. I want all of your questions coming in. I want you to be talking to the person as well through me. You know, and you can do it in the comments and they'll be able to see those comments and they'll be able to engage with you as well. But that's the point. It's kind of interesting people that you can kind of get that first-hand conversation with. It's a bit like radio, and I've said from the off it's like radio. I've said that. I've said I want to try and make it a bit like radio where you can phone in and you can have a conversation with somebody you wouldn't normally get to have that chat with. I think it's a really important thing to be able to do. And I think the internet is like the best platform for that as well. And the great thing about having it visual, so you can either listen to it if you want, doesn't matter, and not watch it, that's fine. But by watching it, you know, you can see the reaction to your comments. I don't want anything offensive, I don't want anything rude, but I do want controversy. I do want to ask hard questions. I do want people to take us to places that we wouldn't be able to go to on the mainstream. Why not? I mean, that's exactly what podcasts do, and that's kind of this idea. But the thing about this is it will be every single day apart from Thursdays. And apart from Saturday and Sunday. It will be 4 days a week. This is a daily thing. This isn't like, you got to wait a week or you got to wait a month for the next episode. This is going to be every day. And from my point of view, so what I want to do and what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and employ some of the radio methodology to get guests on. So if something's happened the day before or on the morning of us going live midday, I will try and get somebody on who is relevant to whatever's happening or whatever we want to talk about that's happening on that day. I'm going to try and pre-book some people. In fact, that's what I'm going to do for the first week. I'm going to try and get the whole first week done. But I want it to be relevant. And I need to depend on you to give me recommendations for people to speak to. Now, I'd imagine initially a few of you are going to be quite, standoffish and won't give me recommendations of who to talk to. Just first off, you want to see how it's going to pan out because you don't want to piss the person off that you I get in contact with because I'm terrible. But if you feel like you've got the energy to send me some recommendations, I would love it. If you've just joined us watching, welcome along. You're watching InterTrash CHAT, the infomercial, to let you know that on Monday at midday, InterTrash CHAT is kicking off. And it's going to be a live chat between me and another person and you. And they will appear in this box. I still can't do it. There. Okay? Whoever it is that we get in. And they're going to be people from all walks of life. Maybe not a Paul Tyler, but I would quite like to speak to somebody who works in a nuclear power plant. Kev, I have a friend who is a fish specialist and has been labelled the fish twitcher. Great. Amanda, I won a rock stone comp years ago. I was 12 and found a rock that looked like Australia, and I entered it in a strange competition. I got my rock put on the year 2000 memorial in Sydney, still there, and I've got to have lunch at Parliament House. I've been super cool for years. That's it. Riveting. Amazing. That's great. So we can speak to Amanda. Amanda, what's your speciality? Do you have an expertise that we can dig deep into as well? Because if you do, we'd love to get you on. And also ask you about the rock that you found. Lovely. I mean, individual little anecdotal stories like that, maybe we could weave in with the guests somehow, rather than getting you on for an hour and talking to you about a fucking rock. But maybe. I don't know. We can see. We can see. It's okay. I can swear at Amanda. I know her very well. But yes, it would be lovely of you to make these recommendations. So as I say, it's going to be Monday, midday, in that black box, to the right of me, stage right, stage left, right of me, will be somebody that you can speak to directly on the number 07380325882, or you can message in the comments there and they will see all of them popping up in the comments, and it can be anything. So I mean, who would I get on? That's the trouble. Like, so I've mentioned Alex Fox. I'd love to get her on. I'd love to get Ollie on. Always get Ollie on. I just don't know if he'd have time for me, but we'll find out. I'll ask him. Just people I've met over the years would be great. Just kind of, I think, maybe a professional snowboarder. I know this guy, Joe, who's a bit of an idiot, but I'd quite like to sort of ask him some questions. He's a very offensive man, but also quite lovely and sweet. So I'd just quite like to know a bit more about him. And he is genuinely fascinating. He, I think, he didn't design, but he made the Damien Hirst Brit Awards one year. It's just quite interesting, isn't it? But anybody that's of interest, get your recommendations in. And please, actually, can I recommend to you, if you haven't already, head over to my website, olliepeart.com, and subscribe to my newsletter first and foremost. There'll be one going out about InterTrash CHAT in the next couple of days. But also, can you write me on the contact form and let me know any suggestions of people you'd like to speak to? Ash says, yeah, get Joe on at some point. He's a good man. He is. He's a fascinating character. I think, like, I think I will get Joe on at one point. The only thing that slightly concerns me about Joe is that he's not the most articulate man in the world. Love him to pieces, but you know. So, tell your friends. This isn't a full broadcast right now, but on Monday, midday, I'm sorry to go on. I know there's a few of you that are sticking around, but it's just in case if somebody's just joined us, just popped in, Monday, midday, join me for the first ever full InterTrash CHAT live. I will tell you who that guest will be soon. I'll announce it. I'll put it on all of my social medias. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitch, all of them. I know it's a full-time job. I'm sorry. All of this social media stuff is getting to me as well. But I have to do it. We live in the new normal, and I cannot expect me getting a proper job anytime soon. I want to try and make this work. I'm trying hard. I've got a cup of coffee. I've been painting the floor outside, by the way. And it's quite... I'm wondering if... I've got a lot of energy today, but I've been painting the floor outside, and it's like this polyurethane paint, but it's very chemically, like very chemically. And I'm just wondering if I'm a bit wired by that. I'm not 100% sure. I just don't know. Oh, hello. Recognise that music if you tune in live. Right, so what should I tell you? What else should I tell you? That's all I want to tell you. I don't want to litter your brain with anything else, okay? I want you to go out into the... I'll tell you what, this is what I want to say. I want you to let people know, whether it's verbally, just message them on WhatsApp. Do you know what? I don't care. I literally don't care. Just let people know. Monday, midday. You lot are really... It's a massive help to me, anything you can do. Steve Shepherd, Paul Hayes Outdoors, is a British YouTuber, and he does lots of interviews like this about survivalist techniques and living off the land. He is very interesting and would make a great guest. Love that. Paul Hayes Outdoors. I'll check him out. These are the recommendations that I'm looking for. There's also a guy I'd like to speak to, Alistair Humphreys, who does... I don't think he's a YouTuber, but he's kind of a pioneer for exploring... but there's like different ends of the spectrum with that as well, because there's also people who are kind of, well, have a slightly different approach to exploring the world than he does. But he'd be quite an interesting chap to speak to. Tom Morgan of The Adventurers would be an interesting person to speak to. He's fucking nuts. Yeah, there's a whole host of people out there. I'll tell you the Urban Explorers as well. Good one. Yeah, I like that. That's good. I'll tell you the thing that is as well with all these people. I've got loads of time on their hands. Not working. So, you know, if they ask for a fee, I'll tell them to fuck off. And they can just join me for a little natter. There we go. In some InterTrash live news, which is Thursdays at 8:30, while I remember, we're going to have geocaching. Like it, Steve. Like it. Steve or Stephen? Don't mind. InterTrash Live, 8:30 on Thursday, is going to feature... a couple of people who are doing speed boiled egg eating. Okay, that's all I want to say. Speed boiled egg eating. They're going to eat as many boiled eggs as they can in a minute, and it's going to be down to you to guess how many eggs they can eat in that full minute. Make sure. Extreme Sports Folk. I think that's great as well. I've got quite a few contacts in that space, which is great because I used to sort of work in extreme sports. I like that. I'll pick their brains. That'd be interesting to speak to. There's a guy that does a podcast, Matt Barr, I think his name is, does a podcast called Looking Sideways, which is an extreme sports podcast. He'd actually be good to speak to anyway. He's the one that normally speaks to extreme sports athletes. But it'd be quite nice to speak to him. Just find out what he's discovered by speaking to those people. There's, I know this really interesting couple. They live in Wales now, but they used to live in Chamonix. And they made a film called Magnetic Mountains, which was a great film, but it was about how the main guy fell. Can't remember how far, but it was like 200 feet, something like that. Seriously injured himself, and he was in a wheelchair and stuff. And he started asking the question about extreme sports in general and whether... you know, these people do it for the reasons they do it. Is it a good thing that they do it, or are they just doing it for likes and all that kind of stuff, you know, like Instagram? And if you haven't already, by the way, the last few days I've been checking out TikTok. And the reason I've been checking out TikTok is because I've been looking into social media, I've been looking at Twitch and all that kind of stuff. There are kids on there who are doing the most insane stunts, for want of a better phrase. I mean, literally mad. They are literally risking their lives for likes on TikTok. But people have done that all the time on Instagram, and you hear those stories about people taking selfies and falling off cliffs and stuff. That place in Norway, I think it happened not that long ago. But this film asks those questions about whether or not, you know, what should be done about that. And companies like Red Bull, for example, should they be promoting and pushing that kind of agenda for people doing it for the sake of likes? I think if you're going to be undertaking something that's potentially going to risk your life, you could potentially die, should you be doing it for exposure online, or should you be doing it because it's something that you want to do? Is it the same thing? They'd be interesting to speak to. I mean, they made a whole film about it, so maybe I'll get them. And they live in Wales in an amazing house as well, so for no other reason, we could just look at their house. I'm just going to look at TikTok, right? Kev says circus folk. That would be interesting as well. Can you still run away to the circus? I don't know. Can you run away to the circus? Who knows? Yeah, this is... If you haven't downloaded TikTok, what have we got? So it's all inspirational stuff. So this guy's like running and he's explaining how much weight he's lost and all that kind of stuff. But then you get women doing random things on chairs. Where's the... Look, builders doing stuff, all that kind of thing. But you do get people risking it, really risking it. Hey, Nathan on YouTube, coffee. What are you saying, man? Yeah, I got my coffee. You got yours? Cheers. Nathan, if you've just joined us, by the way, because I don't know if you've just joined, I'm just letting everybody know that this is an InterTrash CHAT infomercial. Well, I'm just saying to everybody that from Monday next week at midday, I will be doing InterTrash CHAT in the new format, which will include this box, which will be full of a guest. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's only you watching on YouTube, Nathan. It's just that you've commented and you're on YouTube. There's a bunch of people watching on Facebook. We've got a whole load of you watching at the moment, all over the place. Let's have a look. Where are we? We've got one on YouTube, one on Twitch. We've got 5 on Facebook. Hello all. Nobody watches on Periscope, or at least I don't get numbers on Periscope. So if you're watching on Periscope, comment. I don't know. Don't know if you're watching there or not. But Nathan, right? So what we're doing is, on Monday, we're going to get guests in that you can talk to live, midday, an hour a day. You can chat to them. You can ask them questions. You can call in 07380 325 882, or you can just message on the thread in the middle, and I'm going to be having a conversation with them, and you're going to use me as the conduit to ask questions to these individuals who will specialise in certain subjects. We're getting recommendations, circus folk, extreme sports folk. I think it's great. And we're going to ask them slightly challenging questions. I'll tell you what I'd like to... we're back in the extreme sports sort of arena. I'd like to speak to some of the athletes about sexism in extreme sports, because when I was working in that world, there was a Swedish snowboarder who got banned from the Olympics for sharing some pretty sexist, well, you could be considered sexist images and stuff, and he said some sexist things about a journalist who criticised him, called her a horse or something. And it's weird because we've gone through the whole Me Too movement since, and I'm just not sure that would stand up. But there's so much sexism in snowboarding in particular. I don't know if it's the same for skateboarding anymore, but it'd just be interesting to sort of ask them those kinds of questions, especially people that have been at the forefront of that. Yeah, I mean, posting a picture of an arse on Instagram or whatever will get you a lot of likes, but should you? I have my arse, but it's slightly different because my arse doesn't really get a lot of likes. Anyway, so Nathan, because I'm going to talk to you specifically right now, Nathan. We need recommendations, so get your recommendations in. Anybody that you think we should speak to, individuals, and you know what? Let's aim high. You know, I don't necessarily need to be famous, but let's aim high. We'll aim high and then we get the next down. So let's try and get a Nobel Prize winner. Why not? Try and get one of them, because if you win it, right, there's definitely people who have won one who we've never heard of. Definitely. You'd have 10 minutes, and I just want to know what they've done with the prize money. Isn't it? Don't you win £1 million or something? You win a lot of money. So I'd quite like to speak to them. That'd be quite interesting. Somebody who's won a Nobel Prize. So if you know anybody that's won a Nobel Prize, please let me know. Kev says, samesies, furry bottoms. Yeah, I mean, furry arse. Don't share that on Instagram or any kind of social media outlet, because it's not going to be good. So, just joined us. I know a few of you have just then. Just to let you know that InterTrash CHAT is coming on Monday at midday. InterTrash CHAT. What is it? It's going to be a conversation between myself and an individual about anything and everything. They will have a speciality subject, probably. They'll have a focus. And you'll be able to speak to them too. You'll be able to call in 07380 325 882, or you'll be able to comment in the comments there and let them know. Minihood 1997, there's an idea. Speak to some furries. Are furries the... Is that like, are they doggers? Is that the same thing? Was there some kind of weird Channel 4 documentary on these people? Is that what you're talking about? What is your job? My job as an individual? Good question, Nathan. I work in radio primarily, but I also am a podcaster and a writer. I write for a few magazines. Most commonly at the moment, and I'll explain why, is this one. Ferment magazine. Ferment magazine is a beer magazine, but I don't write about beer. I actually write about viruses. I also write for EasyJet Traveller magazine, but EasyJet Traveller magazine is not happening at the moment. Yes, furries. No people who dress up as furry animals. What? Furries like to wear animal costumes. Doggers have outdoor sex. Is there a furry dogger? Probably. Nathan says, cool. No worries. Minihood 1997. Not the same thing. Okay. So furries, people that like to dress up as furry animals. That would be fun, actually. So, right. I know. We should make... I mean, I'll go back through these comments later, but I haven't got my notepad. I'll go back through these. I'll make a note of some of these. These are good. These are good. I'm enjoying these. So that's what's going to happen, Nathan. So please do join me for Monday, midday. If you're on YouTube, you can click subscribe, click the little bell thing, and it will remind you. But also head over to my Twitch if you prefer Twitch, which is twitch.tv/OlliePeart. You can watch there as well, and it will send you a reminder on your phone. But I'll also be on Facebook, and I'll also be on Twitter. We'll be on all of those platforms simultaneously, which we are now. We're on multiple platforms. So anyway, that's what the plan is with InterTrash CHAT. And I can't wait, actually. I'm really excited. The other thing I'm going to have to give you sort of like full disclosure is as of next week, I'm going to be doing a like... Nathan doesn't have Facebook. Don't worry about it, Nathan. Just join me on YouTube. It's all right. You can watch it. There are multiple platforms. You can watch me wherever you like, mate. I'm doing a radio show for the next couple of months, starting on Monday, and it's an early one. But I do finish at 10:30, so I will be quite tired probably. But I'm going to try and muster up that energy for the midday chat. So it doesn't give me much time. So I'll get in at 10:30. Just after, and then we'll be on air for midday live for an hour at least, depending on the conversation. But I'm gonna try and keep it to an hour because I think actually having those windows, it's going to be an hour. You can take an hour out of your day, whether you're deciding to have an early lunch or whatever. You can join us for the last half hour or whatever, and it's an hour. You're not going to be sat there and things start getting good an hour and 20 minutes in, and you're like, shit, I've got to go. It's going to be an hour, solid hour. And I can't wait. And I can't wait to see who we can get and who we can chat to. That's the other thing that's going to be really exciting. The possibilities are endless. Let's see where we go. With it. Hello, you've just joined us, by the way. If you're watching and you're watching the whole time, I can see when people join and when people leave. Okay, so I know that there are people joining and people leaving. But if you've just joined us, hello, welcome along. You're watching an InterTrash CHAT infomercial where I'm explaining to you what InterTrash CHAT is. It's going to be happening 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday. From Monday, it's Monday coming, at midday, and it's going to be a conversation between me and one other person about whatever their speciality is. It could be anything. And we're just having a conversation now about the types of guests that we could get on. It can be anybody, really. Don't have to be famous, don't have to be well known, but they have to have something interesting to talk about. And I want specialities. I don't necessarily want what's the word? Like I'm not trying to dig deep into real life stories or anything like that. I'm trying to sort of pick apart their expertise in an area so you can ask them questions and it might be advice. Yeah, I'll use Alex Fox as the example from the podcast. Her speciality is most definitely sex, so then you can ask specific questions along those lines, but we can also have a general conversation. So it's more like that. That's the idea of this. Nathan likes my accent. If you want to know what the accent is, it's a hybrid of Slough, a boarding school in the West Midlands, and Dorset, which is where I live now. There you go. Don't know if that means anything to you, but if it does, good on you. So, that's about all I have to say for today. Thank you very much for watching. Please do spread the word. Head over to my website as well. I'm going to write it on here right now. olliepeart.com. There it is. I've just popped it up there for you. So you can head along there, subscribe to my newsletter. There'll be more further announcements of how you can watch, where you can watch, how you can share it with people. Also, when you sign up to my newsletter, you get a free animated GIF. You'll have to wait and see what it is. You'll have to wait and see. Head over there, though, subscribe, and also feel free to contact me and let me know of any guests that you'd like me to speak to, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible and we'll have that conversation. You can also message me on Facebook and we can speak about it there. Amanda, my brother is an Olympic level gymnast turned Warhammer enthusiast who is now 14th best player in Australia. Perfect, let's get him on. Perfect. I'll speak to you later, Amanda. I really want to speak to your brother. That's incredible. We'll have to figure out the time difference if he's still based in Australia, but I want to speak to him because I don't even know what Warhammer is, but I kind of know that there are the shops that used to be around and they're really weird. How's that going to work for social distancing? What? Warhammer? If you're a Warhammer enthusiast, how do you do it? Let's ask him questions. Let's ask him, what would you ask a Warhammer enthusiast? You'd ask him, you'd be like, look, is it basically nerds who've got bored of masturbating? I wouldn't ask that. But I would say, is it like nerdy? I mean, what kind of people get involved in Warhammer? What actually is it? Is it role play? I don't really get it. Why is it that it's kind of acceptable for older men to play this game and men and women? Or am I just, is that me getting it completely wrong? Is it like is the gender split quite level? Is it the age differences different? Like I've walked past Warhammer shops, I don't really understand them. So yeah, Amanda says bingo, but I just wonder if she's saying bingo to the for nerds who've got bored of masturbating. But if she said bingo to that, then she knows that her brother's got bored of masturbating, and that's slightly weird. Anyway, right. Thanks for watching. Please tell everybody. I'd love for you to tell as many people as possible. Remember, head to my website, sign up to the newsletter, tell as many people as possible, and join me for InterTrash CHAT, the first full episode on Monday at midday. I'd love to have you along. Make sure you do that. Okay? Good. Stay safe. Enjoy the weather. Make sure you wear plenty of sun cream. You're going to need it. It's going to be very, very hot. And I will see you on Monday. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. See you then. I like a cheer before I go out. So let's get the cheer going, shall we? Bye. See you on Monday. Don't be late. I'll see you then.